Alright guys, this is Health Nibble number 93. I'm back from vacation. I've actually been back for a while, but I've kind of enjoyed my break. But we're back in it. So last night we were at the Fort Wayne Library, had a talk on, or a workshop on thyroid and autoimmune conditions, and over 100 people came, and it kind of inspired me. I forgot about it. I mean, one of the main strategies we have for getting people better is the 5 R's. And so I'm going to explain that to you. And so when the types of patients that we take care of are, autistic kids, spectrum kids, neurodegenerative, so, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, autoimmune thyroid, autoimmune in general. So, it all comes back to cell function. So, we haven't done this for a while, so I'm just going to kind of review the cell function stuff. So remember, the body's made of cells, and so if the cells are healthy, the body's healthy, right? Right. So, but the health of the cell is determined by the health of the cell membrane, which is this fatty layer. It's actually a bilayer, so it has 2 layers around it. And we need that cell membrane to work to get food in and out. Food in and waste out. And then you have your DNA in here, your mitochondria, these are the powerhouses. And then we have receptors. So as I talked about last night, you can have take hormones, estrogen, thyroid, all these different hormones to try and feel better. A lot of times people don't feel better because they can't get, so let's say it's thyroid, it's T3, it can't get into the cell because it's blocked, and it's blocked by toxins, which could be mercury, aluminum, lead, biotoxins like mold. A moldy home will really screw up cell function. So we have to address all of these things to get the cell to work. And so when this is toxic and we eat a high sugar diet, so these toxins come from 3 things: sugar, which is a standard American diet, right? Cereal in the morning, sandwiches at lunch, pasta at dinner. Heavy metals, and bad fats. So heated vegetable oils, which canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, that are in all these processed foods. They're heated, so they're denatured. Trans fats are terrible. Anytime you see partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated anything, margarine. So they lodge in the cell too. And it makes the cell real dirty. And then so the genetics they have to either survive, So to survive, they have to adapt, so they have to mutate. So they have 2 choices, they can die or adapt. And so when they adapt, oftentimes you get autoimmunity. Or other diseases. So the other thing that happens is these mitochondria, which are like the little battery packs, they're like, little lithium battery packs in every cell, and they produce all the energy. And so if those are messed up, then you don't have any energy, which is, most Americans. So you get autoimmunity from the genes, you get fatigue and poor cell function. So this is where all these diseases come from, all of them that we listed: neurodegenerative, autoimmunity. I hope that makes sense. I know it's quick. So how do we address all that stuff? And I only pull this out in lectures, so this is what I was inspired. So the first thing is, R1 is remove the source. So if we have all these toxins in here, that's what our expertise is getting those toxins out of the cell. That's why we have such good results with these things that are supposed to be, that you're just not supposed to get better from, it's to pull those toxins out. But you can pull the toxins out, but if you keep dumping toxins back in, you're not going to get better. So you got to remove the source, all right? Mold, mercury, aluminum. Figure out where that stuff is coming from. Lead. So first remove the source, and then we regenerate the cell membrane. So the cell membrane is made of fats. So we have to give you the fats that you need to regenerate the cell membrane. The other thing is remove the bad fats that mess up the cell membrane. And there are cell membranes in here, so in the mitochondria, that are really important. And we actually address both of those with two different strategies. The outer cell membrane and these inner cell membranes with this mitochondria. And if you really think back to biology class, the endoplasmic reticulum, that actually plays a really major part in cell function, and the cell membranes in that are really important too. So we regenerate the cell membrane, we restore cellular energy, so that has to do with this mitochondria and ATP. You probably remember that from biology class. ATP is the energy that we use. Most chronic diseases most people with chronic diseases have mitochondrial issues. You know, most of your autoimmunity you can diagnose with mitochondrial issues. So we have to address that. Where are we at here? Inflammation and oxidative stress. So you finish this phrase. What is at the root of all chronic disease? Inflammation. What causes inflammation? Leaky gut, and that needs to be addressed. And stressors, which are thoughts, traumas, toxins. What are the toxins? Bad fats, sugars, heavy metals, glyphosate, genetically modified foods, glyphosate, Roundup, pesticides, herbicides. So we have to get rid of that stuff to reduce inflammation. All these strategies lead to reducing inflammation. And then finally, we reestablish methylation. So for proper genetic expression, we need these methyl groups. And even if it's real trendy to get diagnosed with MTHFR mutations, and people think, oh, they've got dealt bad genes. Your body has so many backdoor mechanisms to compensate for that. If you're diagnosed with that, it doesn't mean anything clinically. So, but it is an issue because plastics, which are back to these toxins, right? So plastics, the BPA, the dioxins, the PCBs, these things mess with methylation, so the cells can't work like they're supposed to. So we have to remove that source, but then we have to reestablish methylation, give the body methyl groups. So this is the strategy. The 5 R's is how you get over chronic disease, how you reverse chronic disease. And so that's your health nibble for the day.